I love Tom Selleck
I
very
mean,
much.
how could you not? Especially when you rewatch this
I
opening, by the way, that we're going to play soon, because you're like, man, is he smooth. Well, hey,
how do you
everybody.
know?
Hi-yo. Welcome to the show that is known as Chris and Amanda's Song Swap Showdown. We're so happy you could join us here today. We're very excited. We did all the Halloween stuff. That's past us. We had a great time doing it all. But now it is time to get back into our regularly scheduled programming, non-holiday. And I am pumped because we spun a wheel of themes in the previous episode, and what we landed on today was something that's near and dear to Amanda and I's heart, and I'm sure a lot of you out there too. But we're here talking about TV theme songs today. TV theme songs. You were excited about that when that landed.
When it landed on that, I was like, I was made for this. I
Yeah,
love TV theme songs. They are so recognizable. It just shows the power of a couple notes. Like
yeah,
almost immediately, as soon as those couple notes start, you know what show you're thinking of.
absolutely, 100%. And it's like, and the thing is too, like sometimes the songs, like we did a show about this, I think in our first season or
Yes.
second. I can't remember.
Yep.
But we did a TV themes, and of course, there's unlimited amount of TV themes and shows that you watch as
Yeah.
growing up. But it's amazing how some of the songs became even more popular than the show sometimes, or became just as
Yes.
like they actually just became a whole thing on their own.
Yes.
And that's always. But it's some of these songs are like really good, like really good,
Really, really good.
like thinking the last time we did our show, or the last time we did this episode.
Mhm.
I think I had like the MASH theme song, which
Yep.
was like a number one hit. It was a number one hit, and the song actually made more money than the movie did.
And I did some Golden Girls,
Yeah.
Scooby Doo. I mean, some
Yep.
serious hits. So this is our second round. So some of the obvious ones may not be or aren't on our list potentially this week because we did a round of 6 already. But
Yep.
to be fair, when we're talking TV shows, we could do probably 50 episodes like this and still not run out of amazing songs to talk about.
No, absolutely. I mean, we could just turn the show into talking about TV theme songs if we
It's so
wanted
true.
to.
If we wanted to.
If we wanted to. But we won't, because we have more fun picking and choosing all the different theme songs and all that, or the
Indeed.
different themes. So anyway, listen, everybody. Before we ramble on even more, welcome to the show. If this is your first time checking out Song Swap Showdown, well, Amanda and I, we welcome you joining us. And how the show typically works is Amanda and I each swap 3 songs with each other that we don't think the others heard before, and we rate them on a scale of 1 to 5 records, with 1 being a dumpster fire and 5 being heavenly music to our ears. And the songs are chosen based on a theme, and the theme is chosen by spinning the wheel of themes at the end of every show. Last week we spun the wheel, and as we were just talking about, it landed on TV themes, and so here we are. So, full disclaimer, I mean, it's hard at this point, unless you really hadn't watched the show, like,
Mhm.
do you know the song? Do you not know the song? And it could happen, but for the most part, I think we both know each other's list, or at least a lot. I don't know. I'd be interested to see like what. I feel like my shows weren't so out there. Maybe my first pick, which was my replacement pick.
Your first pick, I was like, "What's this? What's
Yeah.
this?" I did not know that. And
Okay.
so we'll talk about a little bit of that in the show because
Yes.
I was like, "Where did this come from?"
Yeah. So, well, trying to play by the rules of the show. Maybe you'd heard it, maybe you hadn't, maybe you hadn't seen the
Yeah,
show.
yeah.
So, yeah. So, how we're gonna do the show today is like, listen. So, honestly, like, if you really want to get the most out of today's show, other than those who are joining us live, if you're listening to this on the go, anywhere you get podcasts, you definitely want to check out the video version, because we are going to, as we go through each of our songs, we're actually just going to share the video and play. Because, as Amanda said, like, these songs are so synonymous with the visuals. So,
Mhm.
I'm sure you can imagine if you can't get to a screen, but I'm just saying that you should try to get to a screen to fully immerse yourself
Yes.
in our visual experience here. Yeah. And yes, Dave, thank you. Interesting record spinning background. Listen, we're
Yeah.
trying some new things. StreamYard's got some new fun stuff. So we're playing around. So yeah, so welcome to our virtual record store today. If a man and I owned a record store, I think this is, I don't know. It might look like this.
You know, I think if we lived closer and
All right.
logistics were out of the picture and not an issue, I think we would be doing live in-person shows at record stores and all of the places. So
Yeah.
I think this is kind of the second best.
I agree. I agree. And and by the way, we're always happy to go on tour and show up at your record
Yes,
store. So if you want a live Song Swap Showdown experience at your record store, let us know. We'd be happy to do it.
it doesn't take much convincing.
No.
You ask, okay.
And even better if you're in the Detroit area because it makes it easy for Amanda.
Indeed, indeed.
So, all right. So listen, we got a bunch of friends checking in here. I want to get to the chat before we start diving in and talking about our picks. So, so we had Ian, our friend from Australia, the show, because we just had in the United States, or at least in our part of the world here in the United States, the East Coast, you're considered, for the most part, most of the states still do this, but we do the
time
daylight
change.
savings time
Yeah.
change. So we went back an hour. Right?
We fell back.
We traveled through time and went back an hour. So, so when Ian normally joins us, he's in Australia, so now it's too late for him, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So he went in and actually left in the chat early. Like he dropped some stuff. So I
love
like
it.
that. So thank you, Ian, for doing that. On your replay, you'll check this out. So listen, what is Ian saying? So he's saying, sorry, too late for me. I can guarantee that this will be the greatest show in the history of YouTube. I'll watch
the confidence.
Yeah.
The confidence.
Yeah, I can be guaranteed. Well, we will certainly try not to disappoint. All right, and then now he's saying my three greatest Australian TV show themes are On the Inside from the drama show Prisoner.
Ooh, that sounds wonderful.
On the Inside from the drama show Prisoner. The theme song from the kids' TV drama Round the Twist, and Skippy the Bush Kangaroo from Skippy.
So drama,
great,
bouncy.
Yeah.
Drama.
Okay.
A lot of drama going on in Australia, apparently.
I could say I don't think I've ever seen an Australian TV show. I don't think.
I haven't either. So, and now, Ian, I'm going to have to go to the TikTok or the YouTube and look at some of these shows and get some clips and see what they're all about.
Yeah, absolutely. So, of course, Dave Mattingly, Mr. VIP himself.
Good morning, Dave.
Always has 3 picks for Amanda and I. So, and I love it. So he's always curating a list. So, okay. So here's my picks of lesser known themes for Amanda. The Adventures of Briscoe County Jr.
I watched that show. Forgot all about
That's a great show. Great show. Firefly. Love Firefly and Underdog.
Very good.
Adventures of Briscoe County Jr. Wow, you watched that show?
Ages ago, I sure did. Who was the main actor? I'm gonna have to Google machine that.
It was Bruce Campbell. Well, he was Bruce Campbell from Evil Dead and the Sam Raimi stuff, the Raimi verse.
Gosh,
yeah.
I don't think that was on a lot of seasons though, but maybe it was.
I don't remember how many seasons it was. It used to be in the blocks with like Xena and Hercules,
which I also watched.
Of course. Xena Warrior Princess, yo. Let's go. All right. So Dave's also saying my picks of lesser known themes for Chris. Alienation. Loved that show, Dave. I loved it. Nowhere Man and Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego. Nowhere Man I never watched, but yeah, Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego.
In the world is Carmen Sandiego. Gosh, so good.
Yeah, very good. And now David's got his picks. So Dave's picks are my own favorites: The Muppet Show.
Classic.
Yeah. Pee-wee's Playhouse. Yes. R.I.P. Paul Rubens. Love Pee-wee's Playhouse. The Weird Al Show. Honorable. Yes. Great show. Honorable mentions The Addams Family, Batman, and the Monkees. Of course. Those love are great. It. Yeah. And my nephew checking in with hi.
Hi,
hey, Owen. How are you? Thanks for hanging out with us. Let's see what else we got here. Dave, if I own a record store, I'd stock lots of new wave, acapella, and comedy parody albums. I often think about this too, Dave. We should compare notes. Mark Roddick checking in with good morning.
Good morning,
our friend. appreciate you. Thanks for checking in. And then Dave also coming back with
Okay.
the only 2 states that don't daylight savings are Arizona and Hawaii.
I feel like
Thank
they're
you,
onto
Dave.
something.
Thank you, Dave. Appreciate it. So, all right. So let's dive into the show here. Let's get into it. Who's going first? Actually, I went first last week, so you just go. I think you should just dive in.
I was gonna ask you to go to first, so this is perfect. Because your first theme song to me this week was the only one that I did not know, and it is "Do You Wanna Taste It" by Wigwam. By the Wigwam. The Wigwam.
Wigwam.
I never heard of the show. Never heard the song.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure. But I was like, this will be a fun one.
So I did what any reasonable person did. I went to the TikTok.
Yes.
And I put in the search bar Peacemaker.
Right.
Right. That's what it's from. Peacemaker,
yep,
right?
Peacemaker.
Am I making that up? Okay.
Yep.
And
starring John Cena.
He is hilarious.
I'm telling you right now, that show.
Oh my God.
Absolutely was awesome. It was, and they're doing another
season, right? Like
it was
only one season out.
But there's going to be a second season, or at least that's what they've said. And John Cena is absolutely unbelievable in this whole show. It is great. It is so much fun, and I'm telling you, he's awesome. He's really funny.
The seriousness of his comedic relief, though, because he's never laughing when he says these things.
No, he just he totally sells it.
He does, and his costume is so dumb. It's so dumb.
It is.
And then
stupid costume.
There's the other character. Is it the vigilante?
Yeah, the vigilante.
Whose character is so ridiculous.
It's so great.
I feel like I watched all of season 1 this morning on TikTok.
Did you really?
In 60-second increments.
Wow.
It was great. I have to pick up a couple pieces because there's a butterfly. There's things that I didn't exactly know, but
yeah.
Wow, what an interesting show. So after I'm glad I went down that rabbit hole of those TikTok videos, because I feel like the song itself makes so much more sense to me instead of just listening to the song.
Right.
So if you just listen to the song, if we just normally played it on the show, I don't know. I don't know.
You don't know if you'd be into it. So there's some funny stuff about this song. So
tell me all about it.
I'm going to tell you all about it.
Tell me all about it.
I mean, there's actually a lot online about this song. So the band is called Wigwam. Wigwam. And they are a Norwegian hard rock metal band, and their story behind this is amazing. So they're pretty much washed out. They were a band that they had been broken up, and they were days away from being dropped by their record label.
Oh.
And then "Do You Want to Taste It" was dropped. Was then tapped to be on the opening of the show, and then the show was a hit, and it basically revitalized these entire
I love
this
that.
band. They basically came all the way back and actually made
a
ton of money from this. It's amazing. The story is great. I'll have to post it in our Facebook group so that way everybody can kind of check that out if you get a chance to read them. But it was great. It's a fun song, and so the opening is amazing. I mean, it's one of the best, I feel like it's one of the best, modern openings to a show.
And I haven't seen the opening yet. So as you play a little bit of it, I'm going to be excited to dive into this.
I'm going to share my screen here and get this up.
So is the Peacemaker an actual comic book?
Yes.
Okay.
The DC comic,
gotcha.
Anti-hero, member of the Suicide Squad type thing. So it's he has his roots in comic books, big time.
Gotcha. And he has views on Batman.
Yes. All right. Here.
So dumb.
It's great.
Oh my gosh. This is not the intro.
This is the intro.
Chris Baglio.
It's fantastic.
This is
so it actually
dumbest thing I've seen in forever.
Right, but it actually, when you read James Gunn's interviews, he's it actually everything that they're doing everything they're doing in this is actually telling the story of the entire show.
I could do probably this dance. That's
I
kind of my level.
I would love to see you
It's
do
kind
these
of
dances.
cheerleading.
Yes.
Middle fingering it. This is so stupid. Oh my
It's so great, isn't it?
I can't even. Oh, that character is so
Yeah, the old guys. Yeah,
That's
definitely
it.
not a family-friendly show.
The hip thrusting in this. And the eagle. I can't
Eagly.
even. Eagly.
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 His Eagly, his
That is
his
dumb.
sidekick. But so
dumb,
good.
It's good.
Yeah, it's amazing. So one of the best openings to a show. By the way, once again, for those of you who are just listening and not watching, I definitely urge you go watch it. And even if you don't watch the show, go Google and on YouTube and watch the opening to the show. It's amazing. Not a family friendly show, by the way. I just want to say it's like Deadpool, but like not. It's R-rated stuff. I mean, unless in TikTok they sanitize, but it's R-rated stuff.
There's a lot of cussing. There's from what I'm seeing.
But it is a comedy show. It's pretty ridiculous.
I do feel like the acting in it from all the actors and actresses seemed very, very on point for a comedy. And at first I was like, am I reading this right? Is this supposed to be funny? Because my very first scene was the scene between him and the older gentleman arguing about Batman.
Which is fantastic.
It's wonderful. And when you think about it, you're like, he's got a legit argument.
He does have a very legit argument.
So if you want to hear that argument, go find it.
Yeah.
But it's a really, really good argument. So listen.
All right. So
even though I hadn't heard it before,
okay.
I was pleasantly, the song itself, I'm like, oh, it's fun. It's fun. Actually, it probably is a song you may have sent me for a week.
It may have been because it literally stands on its own. Like
it really does.
It's a real song that was recorded, not intended for the show, but it was a song that they used for the show, and we'll be talking about Mad Men soon because the same thing happened there. But like,
very Chris song. So like, it really was in line with you and your musical taste. So I really liked it. So I feel like compared to some of the other choices on our list, like I can't give it a 5 record, even though I think it's pretty great.
Okay.
I want to say it's very great. That intro video, though, gosh, is that dumb, but so good too. So I appreciate that. It makes me smile. And so with that, like I'm gonna give it. I'm stuck between a 4 and a 4.5.
So
because I think they did great with it. So let's do 4.5.
All right. Thank you for 4.5. I mean, it's a wild opening, and I think it's a great way to kick that show off, knowing how that show goes every week, and the song's great. It's a perfect blend. And yeah, while the song was its own before the show, now it's like, especially after watching this, I can't unsee it. Like I can't unsee that opening and hear that song. It's so great.
I'll admit, a little hang up that I'm having is it's such a newer show. I don't have the nostalgia with it like I have on so many other theme songs, like so many of our listeners have too. So when I'm thinking theme songs for TV shows, I automatically default to 80s, 90s, maybe some 70s things, not 20. I think it came out in 2022, right?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah,
so,
it came, yeah.
That's an internal conflict I'm having with myself, but I just want to air that dirty laundry out there.
Yeah. Okay. Good dirty laundry.
So dirty.
So dirty. All right. So I will take your 4.5 for Peacemaker. Thank you for doing that. All right. So Dave Mattingly checking in. He's like, theme from Briscoe. Actually, because we were talking about Briscoe County Jr. before. Theme from Briscoe eventually went on to become the theme song for the Olympics. I actually didn't know that.
I did not know that.
Wow. Good stat, Dave. Thanks. Peacemaker opening credits are astounding. Yes. Yeah.
Clearly.
The comics character Peacemaker was the inspiration for the comedian. Yep. Who got thrown from the window from Watchmen. Yeah. Great. Thank you for that. Actually, Dave, I forgot all about that. That's a great bit. He was saying I recently learned that Lost in Space theme was written by John Williams. Did not know that. John Williams, of course, extremely popular for Raiders of the Lost Ark, and of course a small indie film called Star Wars. You wouldn't know about
just
that.
itty bitty.
Yeah, you wouldn't.
No,
No.
it's not on my radar.
Maybe one day you'll be
Maybe
able
one
to,
day.
yeah.
Maybe Owen will expose me to it.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe watch on TikTok.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, woo, lots of great stuff. We have so much more show to get to. So let's keep going. And by the way, everybody, play along. Let us know if you're watching. What are some other shows that you like? What are some theme songs? And what did you think of what we just did, Peacemaker? So as we go along, let us know what you think of some of these songs, or maybe it's what memories you have maybe associated with these shows, or, you know. So, I mean, yeah, to Amanda's point, we can go on and on with this.
And Dave just came in with a comment that I think is kind of where my conflict was.
Yeah.
He's saying the song itself might be a 4, but the opening dance makes it a 4.5. And I agree. After seeing that opening dance, I did struggle between that 4 and 4.5. So I think we'll land it at 4.5 because I think I'm feeling generous today.
Yeah, Mark, I agree. Big Bang Theory song by Bare Naked Ladies, great. Great theme song. I love that one. That's a good one. Yeah, it's hard, man, when you're trying to make these. So really with my list, I tried to take from like just some different eras of things I grew up with, and mix it up a little bit. So that was sort of the inspiration behind my list. But your first song to me, Amanda.
Yes.
All right. So Mad Men. Great. Love the show. This was like, this was one of, you get those Sunday night shows, right? Those good shows. And like Mad Men was a great Sunday night show. Rachel and I that was like appointment TV for us. We both love Mad Men. I mean, man, Don Draper. I mean, it just
the Don.
What a phenomenal show. By the way, we're not going to give spoilers, especially with things like Mad Men, if you guys haven't seen it yet. I mean, it's hard because it's like, I don't even know what the spoiler to that show is, considering how it ended. It's like, So, what did you think of the finale? Like, is it a 1 record? Is it a 5 record? Where would you rate the finale of Mad Men?
The first thing I had to do was Google what it meant, because I'm like, I need closure. I need closure.
I know. I can imagine you going nuts looking for.
And I don't want to spoil it too much, but you left with the feeling of like, And so I feel there was some peace to it at the same time, I guess I can say without saying too much.
Well, I think they wrapped it up in a way that I wasn't expecting.
Me either. It was almost like they abruptly wrapped up the final season.
It felt a little like, and.
Yeah, like they hit it. So they gave closure in a lot of ways, which I appreciated to a lot of the characters. I was so grateful for that. But how it ended, but I do almost think when you look back at the whole show, why would Don's character not have ended that way?
Yeah, it's amazing. Like,
because that's him.
Right, it's him, and once again, without not giving much away,
it's so hard.
Felt in character for him, even though it was odd. So anyway, loved this show, and this theme song and the opening to this are equally iconic. So this is a song where, like we were just talking about with Wigwam, it's not a song that was written specifically for the show. All right, so this was done by RJD2, by the way. That was the artist who did this. And this actually, so the name of the song, too, is called A Beautiful Mind. Not Mind, but A Beautiful Mind. And it was, as I said, it was released by RJD2. And he had released a whole song of instrumentals called Magnificent City. So there was this record called Magnificent City that he was on. And then he did all the instrumental tracks and re-released it just as an instrumental version of that. And that's where then A Beautiful Mind, which is the last song on that record, actually then was heard by the producers and then used and it kind of adapted for Mad Men theme. So started off as its own song, not ever intended to be for TV, and then eventually became a theme song for Mad Men. One of the best shows.
I have watched that whole series probably no less than 10 times. I'm not embarrassed to admit that.
Wow, that's pretty good. I have the DVDs, and I have the DVDs.
The DVDs.
I have so many DVDs. DVDs, what the heck are those? But I haven't watched the show in a while, actually. I should go back, because it's been a while. Because sometimes it's like I get so into these shows, and I'm like, I just need to like break again so I can go back and kind of feel like I'm discovering it again.
Yeah.
But what a great show. And so Mark's saying I never watched Mad Men. I highly recommend. Definitely a slow burn drama. about the world of advertising and marketing. I mean, that's the sort of the backdrop, but it gets pretty interesting. And Don Draper is like a guy who he's not necessarily a great guy, but he's not a villain.
He's a sad man.
He is a sad man,
He's a sad man.
and you
And
can feel sometimes sympathetic for him, and sometimes you absolutely cannot.
absolutely, he digs his own graves in so many
Yeah.
ways. And I know Mark Ronick, his journey this year or going into this new year is to have more like in-person type relationships and meetings. And I think this is one thing that Mad Men does really well is it takes you back to the art of relationships, in-person relationships.
Oh man, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
from a business. If you own a business, it's so worth going to watch because I think there is some really good takeaways from that. It also
Yeah.
made me go, they didn't work as hard as we worked today.
Yeah. I know. I'm like, wait a second. It's a lot of like just getting by until noon and then going out for liquid lunch and then coming back, doing some work and then going home.
Having
Like
their secretaries do it. Like, I don't even, like, they had their moment to shine and then they were like done for the day.
Yeah. And then the secretary, like, did all the work. It was crazy. Yeah, definitely worth it if you want that nostalgia and all that. It's a cool show. And the other thing too, so I actually did the Mad Men little experience around New York where you go to all the bars that they go to. Yeah, it's pretty awesome that they did all the bar scenes. So you do like a little drinking tour and go to all the bars.
Fun.
It's pretty cool. It's fun. I don't know if they still do it, but it was a ton of fun. This was pre-COVID I did this, but it was really cool. Yeah, it was really, you go and you have a drink at each, it's pretty neat. And then they kind of tell you, like, they point out like different where they shot this and that in the bar. It's cool.
That's very neat.
Yeah, it was very cool. So I was pleasantly surprised to see this on your list. So let's do this. I'm gonna play as like I said, as we're going along here. I'm gonna actually play so that way we can see these as they go.
And what's great is the clips you're playing are basically as long as what we would play the music during a normal show.
Yeah, exactly. So it's perfect. All right. Here we go. So here's Mad Men. Great opening too, right? How cool is this?
It was perfect for the show.
What an amazing cast in this show too. The acting in this show was top notch. Good writing.
I've had a lot of people tell me I look like Peggy when I do like my TikTok videos.
Oh,
you're like Peggy from Magnum. I'm like, thank you. So good. And
great show.
The couch with the cigarette in the hand.
Yeah.
At the end there.
Yeah. If you're seeing a lot of people smoke and drink on camera is a trigger for you, then don't watch the show.
Every scene.
Yeah.
Every scene.
So so Mark, check it out. What makes this a good theme is I know it despite never seeing the show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, and Theme the Muppet Babies may be one of the most. We did that on our last show.
Yes, and then Dave had chose that for one of his, and as soon as Chris was reading that was Dave's, that's when you popped into the live recording, Mark. It was as if fate handed you the Muppet Babies.
Yeah. So where am I putting this Mad Men theme song, which is called "A Beautiful Mind" by RJD2? Well, once again, it's so hard to not hear the songs and then not see these openings and know these shows, especially when you watch the show. And so it's difficult to separate, but the song as itself is pretty cool. Like, it's something that honestly, like, I've had it on mixes. Like, it's a cool song to just listen to because it's actually much longer and it's got a good vibe to it. So I would put this song. I would also feel comfortable doing a 4.5 for Mad Men. It's probably high, and I know some people may be like, really? But I feel like as its own, it stands alone. Like, on its own, it's a good song. Like, it's fun to listen to.
Hey, and to be fair, you warned our listeners last week that this show could be a high rating show.
We did. It's tough, man. Trying to take some emotion out of this is a little tough. So, but yeah, I love the show. Obviously, we just talked about love the show, and I think the theme song is iconic with the show. I really do. So that's my rating, and I'm sticking to it.
I like
to it.
We are neck to neck at 4.5.
That's right. We're neck to neck.
Right.
All right. So,
Your second song to me this week
yes.
of TV theme songs is That 70s Show.
Oh, I loved that show. That the first bunch of seasons until Eric left, like went away.
Yeah,
I think he went to Africa or
yeah,
something. I was like,
that
all right.
was like when they jumped the shark, as we say in the show business world.
As they say in showbiz, yeah.
Yeah, that was kind of when I was like, it's not great. I've also, not to my own wishes, have watched that show several times through because Owen really likes it, and so does Marcus.
That
So
70s
it's
show?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I liked it more than I thought I would when I finally gave it a chance.
Mm.
Like when it first came out, I had no desire to watch it.
Okay.
It just didn't captivate me. I
Right.
was like, whatever. But then when I don't want to say I was forced to watch it, but when it's being binged watched by the guys,
When it's on all the time.
yes, I of course watched it. And as I gave it a chance, I actually grew to enjoy it
Dig the show.
more.
Yeah.
It's stupid. And you know what? I have to remember they were portraying what kids would be like.
Yeah.
And kids are stupid.
Yeah.
No offense.
In the late 70s, which, was a wild and free time, even though I was born in 74, so I was like babe. But yeah, I mean it's great.
That age, when you're that age,
Yeah.
you just things are big deals. Things are stupid. You do stupid things.
Yeah, this show reminds me of a goofier, like the film Dazed and Confused. It's like if you took
Sure.
Dazed and Confused and tried to make it into like a TV show, but like really make it sitcom-y and like get into like really just over the top like situations. Like that's what that 70s show is to me. It's like it's like a much more funnier Dazed and Confused with like that group of kids,
And I, of course, watching it at this time in my life, within the last 5 years, I absolutely relate to Kitty so much.
Oh my God.
Except I don't drink.
Yeah.
She's got a little bit of a heavy hand there.
Yeah.
But
Kitty and Red are the best.
They are, and it's so Marcus and I. So we're don't make your mother unhappy. I got to deal with her.
Yeah.
That
like,
type of.
Yeah, exactly.
He doesn't show the love, like, but he loves her, and she drives him crazy.
Absolutely.
It's so us.
Yeah, it is. That's
it's a
true.
Cute show.
Yeah.
It's a cute show.
Yeah, it's a great show.
And I think the song is very appropriate for what you're about to watch when the TV show actually starts. I love how they're in the car.
Yeah, oh gosh, yeah. The whole
bopping all around.
Yep.
With the mom, like everyone, like
the dads, they do everybody.
Face, like
yeah, and as the show went on, like they would add more and more of the different characters. I liked it. It sets the tone for the show.
It
does.
And Fez is the most unneeded but most needed character, I think, in TV history.
Yeah, Fez is great because they give Fez all the best lines to like come in and break any kind of the tension. He gets the laughs, man. He is definitely the big comic relief. I mean, I know Kelso is this, like, you have that, but like Fez is like timed to like go in there and like throw a comedy bomb in there and, like, and then leave the scene
with his style, his accent. It's just it's beautiful art. So there's so much to love about this show and this theme song.
So this theme song, I don't know if you know, but for some of the music aficionados out there may know that the song was written. It's called "In the Street." That's the name of the song, and it was written by Big Star's two primary songwriters. So Big Star, great power pop band, Chris Bell and Alex Chilton, and it was done for the show's first season. And the song was then performed. So this song is actually, there's two versions of the song, and I have them both ready to go, by the way. So for the first season of the show, the song was performed by Todd Griffin, and he was formerly a guitarist and songwriter of the band the Graveyard Train. Then Griffin's cover was replaced in season 2 by the more widely known version recorded by the one and only Cheap Trick, who I absolutely love. So I would love to. So I have both versions on here. I mean, I figured, you know what, we could pick and choose to see which one you like better, the version that was done by Todd Griffin or the Cheap Trick version. So let's do the season 1 version first.
Okay.
Let's do that one first.
And I'm gonna have to listen to the difference because I didn't realize there was 2 different versions.
There are 2 different versions. So let me make sure I got this queued up. Got it. All right, here we go. All righty. Downtime on the live. Okay, here we go. All right, so this I believe this is the first version.
Okay. Okay, I can hear a difference.
Yes.
Kelso's so stupid.
I know.
Aw, little Fez.
Yep.
Hello,
All right.
Wisconsin.
So that's the version that was in season 1. So that's that version. So now let's check out the season 2 and on version. Let's see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kitty, I really love her.
It's great. Cheech.
He's
Yeah. So
It's
all
good.
right. So I mean, so which version do you like better? I mean, I know my personal favorite.
I like version number 2.
Yeah.
I definitely do. The first one's not bad. It's very.
Right.
I actually didn't even know that there was a difference when you just like kind of watch it. I didn't really
Yeah.
think about it. So it wasn't until you pointed it out that there were 2 that I guess realized that. So second's my favorite. What's yours?
So mine is definitely the second. I mean,
Okay.
I love Cheap Trick, so it was just great that, and it only makes so much sense being that they're a Midwest band, to do that, to do that song, and and for the time too, because it's the mid '70s, which is like when Cheap Trick is like huge at that time with Laugh from Budokan and I Want You to Want Me, like those, like that is like prime time late '70s Cheap Trick. So it was made so much sense that they were the ones that did the song, and then to add the "We're all right, you're all right" from Surrender, to add that in there was great. So I love the second version. That's my favorite. Yeah, first version's very like TV show theme,
Yeah.
very generic, fun, good. You could hear like it's pop, it's like power pop, but then like but then Cheap Trick comes in and goes, all right, now we're gonna
Yeah.
Cheap Trick this.
For sure. For
Yeah.
sure. All right. So where do I rate this?
All right, so where are you rating that '70s show theme song?
I'm coming in, and don't hate
In
me,
the streets.
people. Don't hate me.
Uh-oh.
No, I'm giving this another 4.5. I don't think it's
Okay.
like a 5 record for me, because there's ones
Yeah.
in my head that are 5 record theme songs.
Mm-hmm.
This is a very solid, respectable,
Right.
a sociable, like I associate it with that 70s show song. So for that, 4.5.
All right. 4.5 records it is.
Which is good.
Yeah, for In the Streets, that '70s show theme song. So, yes, very. And David, wait, does Amanda know that's Cheech from Cheech and Chong?
Only because of Marcus. I'm not that cool.
Yeah. Oh, man. Oh, and then Dave, I like the brief spin off that '80s show. You know what? We did watch it. It was like, eh. I mean, when they were in it, the original cast, it was fun to see them like interact with our kids,
Yeah.
but it was like not. I don't know. I didn't even finish it, to be honest.
I didn't
finish it all
either.
the way
I
through.
could not get attached to the babies
Mm-hmm.
the way that I got attached to the characters in the original one. It didn't seem. Maybe it's because they were younger. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know. It
But
just
yeah,
wasn't the same.
it was okay,
Yeah,
but it wasn't the same. To your point.
right. It just wasn't the same. Just wasn't the same. All right. Moving right along here
To my second pick.
to your second pick.
I mean, doesn't get any better than this.
Little House on the Prairie. Little House on the Prairie. Wow. All right. So I have a feeling you have a lot of Little House on the Prairie memories.
Absolutely. Right? I have
Yeah.
the whole DVD set that comes in the little wagon box set. It does not come. The one that I got did not
Hmm.
come with the pilot episode. And I'm
Oh,
telling
it
you, the
didn't?
pilot, no, the pilot episode is very important.
Isn't a pilot episode like a movie? Wasn't it like a kind of a
Yes,
TV movie? And
it
then,
was. But it's so important to be a part of it
right.
because
Wonder why they did that. Why would they
I don't
take not
know.
have it in a complete box set? That's pretty
I
cool. Comes in a
know.
wagon.
It does come in a wagon. Yeah. There's a lot of DVDs.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, I mean, that show was on the air for yeah, September
9
11th,
seasons.
1974 was when it started. The year of my birth. And then and it ended March 21st, 1983.
So nine seasons.
9
9
seasons,
seasons.
204 episodes plus 4 specials.
Oh, and gotta get those specials in too.
Oh, you got it. Specials are key. When something airs for that long, you got to get the special in.
Absolutely. What a show.
What a show. So I'm going to tell you that Little House on the Prairie is not a show I watched.
I think that's fair because I'm a girl.
It's very gender specific.
Yes.
At least,
Yes.
that. So, yeah, it just wasn't a show made for me.
Understood. Understood.
Not saying that I didn't not watch it when it was on sometimes, but
Sure.
I didn't, I mean, being a kid and growing up, definitely like in the 70s, I was very young. And so I was like, it just wasn't on my radar at all to really watch
Understood.
Little House on the Prairie. But I do remember it being on, and I do remember that there was the pilot that was the film, because I remember it being like a thing that's like Little House on the Prairie, like the promos back in the day, cutting it to like promote it and everything, and then they would do re-airings of it every now and then, see where it all started. But I will say that it's not a show that I thoroughly watched, so therefore I can't say I really enjoyed it. Obviously, I understand like the legacy it left on TV, and a cultural influence it's had on television, and also that it's its themes are very rooted in sort of the American expansion, kind of. Oh, they kind of whitewashed that a little bit as
Little
far as what life on the West was really like. But I mean, it was a wholesome, positive show for the most part. They Michael Landon, of course, like you can't not like love Michael Landon and the
Paw
things.
Ingalls.
Yeah, so I mean, he definitely an iconic role. So what was funny, and I didn't know this, so you might know this since you're a fan, but I did not know. So talking about the theme song now, Little House on the Prairie, that the theme song was actually in Bonanza. Did you know that?
Yep, I did.
Okay. You did know that? I had no idea. I had no idea that was it. So basically, because Michael Landon was in Bonanza, and then when he started Little House on the Prairie, he took a lot of the people from that show to Little House on the Prairie, including the writer of that song. So he wound up using that song. It was actually aired on the episode called "The Top Hand," aired in 1971, just 3 years before it would become popular for the theme song of Little House on the Prairie. So that was David Rose, actually. Sorry. So composer David Rose was the one that he brought over, and then obviously it became the theme song for Little House on the Prairie. So, but I had no idea it was actually in Bonanza first.
You just hear that beginning and then boom.
Yeah. So Dave's saying I watched Little House on the Prairie because I'm old enough and there were only 3 other channels. True. There weren't that many channels. So I'd love to let us know. I know Little House on the Prairie definitely has a huge fan base from definitely back in the day. I'm interested to see if there's new Little House on the Prairie fans. Like, is it on anywhere, like, on TV anymore that you can watch other than,
TV.
I guess on demand?
I don't really watch TV anymore. Like, all my stuff is streaming, so I'm not really sure. I would assume somewhere, like, on the Hallmark Channel, something like that during the mornings. But, yeah, it is on, I think it's on Peacock or Hulu, one of the two for streaming, or Tubi, one of those.
I mean, is Little House on the Prairie still getting new fans? I don't know. Like, is it a thing that's on people's radars, or is it literally like just generational thing that just people our age and a little bit older like completely like remember it or into? Like
I don't know. Good question.
Like, is any younger? Like, is the is the younger version of you discovering Little House on the Prairie now. You know, like that's yeah.
If they are, it's probably through their mom
Right.
introducing them, like putting it on type of thing.
So interesting. So Dave's saying a friend of mine considers Charles Engels one of his primary heroes and role models.
That is really great. Nice.
Yeah. So, very interesting. Yeah. So I'm just wondering if people are discovering that now. Like I don't know.
Didn't think about that.
Is it a thing still? So all right. So let's listen to and let's watch Little House on the Prairie opening from the show.
I mean, the minute that starts, I get happy and excited. Even the font is so the bopping on the oh, Caroline. Good old Jack.
I always wonder what Melissa Gilbert. I always wonder what it would be like to have this much property. They just roll around. She's gonna fall.
She does.
She does.
Carrie is always doing something stupid or getting in trouble. Her character drives me crazy. The twins. Mr. and Mrs. Olsen.
All right. And by the way, I always loved, like, it was always a surprise when, like, you had, like, your favorite show and it was, like, the special guest star. And you're like, oh,
yeah,
wow, awesome. There's a special guest star.
Johnny Cash was on it.
Yeah. So I always loved that. And that was always a fun thing about Love Boat, right? Because who was going to be on Love Boat? You know, it's like all like the big TV actors of the time.
That was, it didn't make my list just because I didn't really watch it. But that is a very iconic theme song.
Absolutely.
I never watched an episode and I know exactly what that is linked to.
Right.
Yeah. I love that show.
Yeah. It's like I said, as a cultural show, it's made an impact. Now, for me personally, like I know with this is hard because you have an emotional attachment to that show. I do not.
That's okay.
So I think I can be very objective about this rating, unlike the other ones. It's hard to, but because it's not a show I was really into, but I do respect it. But I honestly like I get it for the time, and I didn't know this was from Bonanza, so that was kind of cool if they reused that same piece of music. But I don't think it's anything special. So, but it's not awful. So I'm gonna give it a 3 point. I'm gonna give it a 3.5.
A 3.5. Okay.
Because you have to I feel like I have to for the fact that it's iconic, but it's not. I don't know.
You're respecting.
Yeah.
I
mean, he won an Emmy for it, which is great. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not. It was a successful as far as an opening goes. You know, people hear it and boom, they're. If you watch that show, you hear that and you're thrust back.
And you're thrown back to your point. So you know what? 3.5 is still very respectful.
Yeah. So.
Okay.
Sorry to crush you.
That's okay. That is okay. Yeah. I have a lot of emotional attachment to the show.
I know you do.
That is okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I received your 3.5. Very good.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank
Chris's third and final song to me this week is no other than Magnum PI.
Oh, yes. It's a show that I love. The show. I loved this show.
I love Tom Selleck very much.
How could you not? Especially when you rewatch this opening, by the way, that we're going to play soon, because you're like, man, is he smooth.
And the show is just shows from that time were cheesy.
Oh, yeah.
So his acting was not great compared to like his acting these days in the Jesse Stone movies or his Blue Bloods. Like he's so phenomenal.
I mean, this is prime Tom Selleck.
This is prime baby. He's young in this. He just has a lot of facial hair. That stash.
That stash, man. A Tom Selleck stash.
That makes him look like he was 50 his entire life.
Yeah.
So
did you know?
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, did you know Tom Selleck was originally like auditioned to be Indiana Jones?
I did, and I think I got that off of TikTok.
Yeah, can you imagine like how different Indiana Jones would have been if it was Tom Selleck?
You know, I think he would have been just wrong for it. I don't think he has that professor-ish
He's
look.
He's just not Harrison Ford. I mean,
No, where Harrison Ford being like scared of the snakes, right? Isn't he scared of snakes? And
yeah, he's
is that
scared of
his thing?
snakes. And
There's an intelligence level he carries, yet he can kind of do the adventure, but he doesn't want to do the adventure.
Yeah,
like Tom Selleck would just go for it, and so there's part of that character that I don't think would have been caught the way it needed to. So I'm glad it was Harrison Ford.
Yeah, me too. No, me too. But I always found it be interesting. Yeah.
And he has just aged so beautifully.
Tom Selleck?
Yes.
Yeah. No, Tom Selleck looks good, man. He still looks good.
Listen, I've had a crush on Tom Selleck since I was probably
I knew this was coming. Yeah.
10.
I mean, let me see.
I'm not ashamed.
You shouldn't be. Yeah, good-looking dude.
He's a good-looking dude. Dave coming in with, I think Selleck's mustache has his own agent. Probably. Yeah. It's probably insured.
It probably is.
Like Julia Roberts' legs, I think at some point were insured. Yeah. Tom Selleck's mustache, probably insured.
Like, here's Tom Selleck today. Like,
just look at him.
And
then both are excellent.
And then here he is, Magnum PI.
It's like but how old was he when he was doing Magnum PI? I got to Google search that.
That I don't know. I mean, I
need to see this.
But I mean, he has aged pretty well for a dude, who's kind of gives off like Burt Reynolds vibes.
Yeah.
Tom Selleck, man.
Oh.
Holding it down.
He's saying that he would have been 40 years old during the original series.
Is that the character of Magnum?
The character is 40. That seems wrong.
But though. I don't think Tom Selleck was.
No, there's no way. I desperately feel like we need Dave. Dave, how old was Tom Selleck?
He was in his 30s.
Really? I thought he was younger.
It just says he was in his 30s when he was
made it big.
When he got the role.
That's it.
I mean, he was 65 when he was in Blue Bloods.
And now he's 78, I think. Is he 78?
I think so.
Man, he's what a career. What a career.
Oh my gosh.
So, needless to say, I really like Magnum PI.
He's 78,
I will ask you, what did you think of like the last season of Magnum PI? I feel like it's a Mad Men conversation.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where, listen, the show was on for a while, and I think like we see it a lot, right? These shows kind of outlive their, it's like they kind of milk as much as they possibly can from these shows, and then it oftentimes feels like the final season is a little like rushed, or we're just not sure where to go with it. So once again, I don't want to spoil anything because
I know
people may be like, oh, that sounds cool, let me start watching it. I mean, it was on for 8 seasons.
It probably should have stopped at episodes.
6. December 11th, 1980 to May 8th, 1988. Yeah, the show probably should have stopped at 6, and it was like, but it was a big show. He was a big star. Like, they had to keep it going, and they kind of were like, and then, they just ran out of steam, and I feel like the last season is exactly him running out of steam. Like, where do we go? What do we do? It was not, I wasn't great.
The last episode
The last episode was weird.
Yeah, I'll say disappointed because it's left to be interpreted whether someone would be disappointed. I personally was disappointed.
Yeah, I think that's a good way of summing up. So listen, you guys, make it up. If you haven't seen the show, go watch it. See what you guys think after you get through, binge 8 seasons of Magnum PI. Or for those of you who have watched the show and got to the finale, what did you guys think? Did you like the finale of Magnum PI? Did it live up to your expectations, or are you disappointed? So, because that girl is disappointed.
That girl,
Amy,
is not disappointed in the series ending, but not in the song in the show overall.
So let's watch the opening to Magnum PI and hear the song, which, by the way, before we do that, the song, a little bit about the song too. So this was actually written by Mike Post and Peter Carpenter, and they were already credited. Mike Post was particularly credited with Greatest American Hero, um, Hill Street Blues, The A-Team, Hardcastle McCormick. So they both, like, Post was a well-known TV writer. He brought on Larry Carlton to perform on this song, and that's he's playing, guitar in this. And the song actually was released, the long version was released in 1982 by Elektra Records. And not only was this instrumental released as a single, it made it onto the U.S. pop charts, peaking at number 25 on the Billboard Hot 100 in May of 1982.
Nice.
So it actually, we talked about it, right? How sometimes the songs take on a life of their own, like, and become, like, this was a song that actually charted on Billboard's Hot 100 was when it was released as a single.
I like it. Dun,
Great.
dun, dun, dun,
All right,
dun.
let's check this out. Which
Seasons 1 through 3 out now on DVD.
Yes. You better get them.
You better get them while they're hot,
Yeah.
or stream it on demand.
Yeah. No, what I loved is that for any Stranger Things fans out there, Hopper, when he's doing the whole Hawaiian shirt thing, that is a direct homage to Magnum PI. Like 100%. There's a lot, like, that is, like, they've come out and said it. Him wearing that Hawaiian shirt in that, what was it, season 2 or season 3?
Season 3. I think it's season 3. 2
was
or 3.
100% an homage to Tom Selleck, the Magnum PI character.
1,000,000%. And there was going around on TikTok and like IG Reels, and the video had since been taken down, I'm sure, because of copyright issues, of Hopper and doing the car to this music and stuff. And they did all the clips when he's in like the convertible car, like with Joyce and stuff. It was so well done. I was so bummed when they took it down. So absolutely good point in connecting those two.
Yeah, it's great. So for anybody out there who's like, what is that from? There you go. That's what that is what that's from. So Dave. Yeah, so Dave's saying Selleck was 35, born in 45. Magnum started in 1980. Yep. And Greatest American Hero is one of my favorites back in the day. Oh yeah. Great show. William Catt, love that theme song. I was almost on here too. I almost put it on here.
So many choices. Yeah. So
Believe
many.
It or not, I'm
walking on it.
Yeah.
I love that. Marcus always sings it wrong. That drives me crazy, but that's all right. That's okay. So where do I rate this?
Okay. Where do you rate Magnum PI
1
theme song?
to 5 records. Chris, this is a 5 record theme song all day long.
Boom.
It gets me moving and grooving, and it just makes me want to go to Hawaii.
5 records.
5 records.
You want to go to Hawaii and solve some mysteries.
Wear some Hawaiian clothes, the floral prints, be by the beautiful water. Can't get in the helicopter because I get too sick. But play with Higgins' stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, the lifestyle that he led was pretty great.
Well, and Higgins wasn't like he was like the sort of the caretaker of the estate. Cause so so anyway, no spoilers here, but it was great. So well, thank you for the 5 records.
Thank you for the great song, and that actually was on my list, and I took it off.
Oh, it was? Mm-hmm. Wow. Mm-hmm. See, I thought I was going a little bit. It's hard to say deep, but like know, I was like, I got to do something. Like, once again, I tried to hit from the different eras of shows, from like something really new to like an older show that like I grew up watching. And so that's kind of how I put my playlist together this week.
And I kind of did mine too, because the Little House was that 70s, 80s. The next one was like late 80s, 90s, and then a 2000-ish for Mad Men. So I tried to do the same thing. Yeah,
no, I think it's good because it's like, you watch so many shows. So your next one to me, that being said, your next show theme, iconic. I mean, really, another iconic show theme. And this is the theme song to Roseanne. Man, and talk about a show that like really changed over time. Yes. I mean, where that show started and sort of where it wound up, unbelievable. And then I know they brought it back, and then Roseanne's off, and now it's the Connors or something. And but how they ended that show too was weird. Like it just got weird because people would leave and come back, and then the characters, and I know they were trying to make it a little more rooted and like real, like this is what happens a lot of times in families like this, and I get it.
Yeah.
Like, so they were trying to make it more relatable that way, but some stuff just got to be like,
when Becky went away, came back as somebody else, then went away again, but came as original Becky, but then came back as the new Becky. Like, and the fact that they make a joke about it during like the intro sequence in the later season cracks me up. So like, I guess it is what it is, but there were some obvious hurdles that they had to work through. But again, I think it went a season too long.
Like everything. I mean, it's just, these shows get too popular because they're making too much money for advertisers, and it's like, just make it happen. And you just run out of creatively, you run out of stories to tell with these characters.
I will ask you though, how did you like that final episode? I actually felt like I liked it.
So remembering back, I was definitely, because I honestly had kind of stopped watching the show. This is what happened when shows go, but I was like, okay, I want to watch the final episodes and see how it goes. So it was weird to me to, like, I don't know. I felt once it was like, well, how do we end the show? I don't know. Let's just do this, and that's how it felt to me. Like, so, I mean, I guess it made sense thinking back in the context of the show that it could end like that, but it was still felt like, okay, that's it. All right. That's how we're ending this.
I personally felt like that last episode and how it finally concluded.
Yeah.
Redeemed the nonsense that last season created, because when you saw the reasoning behind it, you're like, okay, that's why it's off.
Yeah.
So it was okay. I think they redeemed themselves maybe by luck. Maybe by pure luck, but those first 5 seasons, though, gosh, I just love it.
Great, the rating was great, acting's great. I mean, of course, John Goodman to me is I know Roseanne was it's her, but like John Goodman is the glue that really makes that show, because he's such a great actor. And I love John Goodman. I pretty much watch just about anything with him in it, just because I think he's such a great actor. I love watching him on screen, and he just brings so much presence, and I think it has to do with his physicality, but just he as an actor is just very good. And I think on this show, like, I can't even think of anybody else that you could have gotten to play the role.
Oh no,
the way he did, like, he was great.
And I can't imagine dealing with Roseanne as an actress would probably be the easiest thing in the world. Like, I'm not like judging her, but it seems like that screen chemistry test wouldn't have been good with just anyone. And they do at the end of one of the episodes show like their screen test together, and you could see like the chemistry was instant between the two of them. So I'm so glad they cast him. I don't think the show would have been a show without him, to your point.
No, it's so hard to. Yeah, I agree, Dave. I like John Goodman just about everything he's. Yeah, I mean, he's excellent. He's excellent, and I really do feel like him being in that show is really what made it. And yeah, the two of them together, their chemistry, it's great. So, all right, so let's talk about the theme song a little bit. So the theme song, actually, for seasons 1 through 8, the song composed by Dan Folliart and Howard Pearl, with Los Angeles-based musician John Luke Logan credited as the original harmonica player. However, in the 9th and final season, it actually went to John Popper. He played the from Blues Traveler. He did the harmonica in season 9.
Well, and they actually added the words.
Yes.
In the later ones, where what doesn't kill us just makes us go stronger, or something like that. Yeah. So I think I prefer the instrumental version.
I prefer the instrumental version as well. I don't think I needed but the opening, it sells it. It sells the show. Yeah. So all right, so let's watch and listen to the theme song to Roseanne. Let's see if
I'm actually rewatching Roseanne as we speak.
Are you?
I needed a little nostalgia.
Okay.
A little nostalgia. And talk about, I don't think that's the right font, but talk about like recognizable Roseanne font.
Yeah. Great opening too.
Chaos. Always chaos.
Always chaos.
DJ that was in the pilot?
No.
Her
All
laugh. Right. It's iconic.
It is. It's an iconic, and when you watch that opening, it's just great because it's just the one tracking shot goes around the table, and and you just see the chemistry already, and it's great. It sets the tone for the entire show. Like, yeah, chaos, right? You just said it, and you hear that song, it's boom. You think of that show, which is what it's supposed to do. That's what the theme song to the show does. So where am I rating the Roseanne theme song on a scale of 1 to 5 records? All right, so definitely higher than a 3.5, I think.
Thank goodness.
Thank goodness. Otherwise, we weren't going to be friends anymore. No. But I put this. I'm going to put it at a solid 4. I think it's a 4 record song.
All right.
It's iconic for sure. I wouldn't just listen to it on its own, but it works really good because you hear it, like I said, and you're supposed to know what show that's from immediately. So, but it's cool. I love and it's because the show is also set in the Midwest and all that. It's got that kind of bluesier sound, and what you kind of would expect from the area that, the Connors live in, so I think that's kind of cool too. So I give it a solid 4 records for the song. I think it's a good tune, great show.
So Chris, this means you come in at 14 and I come at a full 2 points below you this episode.
Oh, wow.
So you are the TV theme song winner, running champ. Well done. Well done.
For this week.
So
I get bragging rights for the week.
Yep. So your 3 theme songs kicked mine to the curb.
It's the Little House on the Prairie for me, just because I don't have an emotional attachment. It wasn't a show I was into, and then therefore I feel like the song doesn't operate well on its own. I don't know. But I just don't have the attachment like you do. So I mean, I think that's a big part of it.
You're not wrong, because I'll admit, when I did this list for me. I really did. But
it's fine. These are the songs you wanted that you liked, though.
I did, but I put out I didn't play chess. I played checkers this round.
You're too much.
But what a fun show, going over 6 amazing, all of which were great theme songs this week. I don't think anyone doesn't like them necessarily or recognize them. Really
solid. No, it's great. And I all these shows are really they've all had a special place, in culture, TV, whether they're newer or older, but you talked about them. I remember, Mad Men, we talked about what happened on Mad Men, the night, oh, did you see Mad Men? Did you see what happened? These were water cooler, water cooler moments for, reference that, some people may not know, but I mean, this is where you would come in and you talk to your colleagues and stuff and talk about, oh, did you watch this? And what, and so many of these shows are like that. They were appointment television,
Yes, they were on TV playing. Maybe not when did that 70s show come in? That was 2000s, right? That was not 90s, was it?
I believe it was I thought it was the 90s.
So we had a nice blend of some newer and some older. So this was a good list.
Yeah, let me see. Maybe that 70s show start.
When did that 70s show come on about?
As I'm trying to look it up.
My memory doesn't.
Oh, it was
well.
First episode 1998.
Okay, so into the early 2000s.
So late, into final episode May 18th, 2006.
Very good. Very good. I mean, it just makes me want to binge watch some more TV shows. And you know what I like about these shows is when I say I binge watch them, I'm not sitting down watching every single episode consistently through. I am putting it on. It's like background music to me as I'm cleaning the house or doing things. Right. And I'm just listening because I don't have to pay attention.
Yeah, you just put it on and you know the episodes, but it's you just want to have it on. But it's nice to hear. And then you look over and you go, oh, it's...
Laugh a little.
Yeah, I agree. Especially, yeah, some shows are just great for that. You just put them on in the background and just do your thing.
Yep.
So,
And I was talking over when you brought up Dave's comment, but Dave coming in with Chris is the king of TV. Yes, he is.
for a little bit.
But for this
Yeah,
episode, it's true.
for this episode, yeah. All right, everybody. So, because you all hung in there, as we do at the end of every show,
here it comes.
It is time to spin a wheel.
Or I almost said of TV theme songs.
TV theme songs. Spin a wheel. Here we go. Time to spin that wheel. All right.
Yes, let's
do
this.
It is time to spin the wheel and see what next week's show theme is going to be.
Let's do it. And I really do like that record playing in the background.
Oh,
you did well.
Thank you. Trying out some new stuff.
What's it gonna do? Oh, I can't see it. I love acoustic versions of songs.
All right, yes. So next week's theme, you're so excited. Acoustic versions. Yeah, stripped down acoustic renditions of popular songs.
Ooh, oh my gosh, I already got a couple up my sleeve.
So, yeah, so this will be acoustic versions of very popular songs. So basically done as an unplugged version or whatever. Yeah, stripped down acoustic renditions. So that is next week's show theme. So start your motors. Start your engines.
Running.
Yeah.
So yeah, coming in with some really great suggestions. I just know it.
Yeah, I got a feeling the community is going to be at no shortage, as they were for this show. There was no shortage of great suggestions from the community, and they never disappoint. So we will be putting this into our Facebook group. If you want to join, use the QR code, use the link in the show notes, and then that way you can get in, and we'll post it there. We'll post on social media. So let us know your song picks. What would you be putting on your playlist for acoustic versions, stripped down acoustic renditions of popular tunes? That is next week's show theme.
And the acoustic version does not have to be the artist that sang it in its popular form, correct? All right, I just want to play by the rules. All right.
Nope, it could be a cover. It could be a cover. It's just it's an acoustic version of a popular song.
A popular song.
Yeah, a well-known song.
I love, there's something, sometimes I'm just in the mood for those types of sounds. You know, nothing heavy, but it doesn't mean I don't want a good song played on.
Yeah. No, exactly.
I love acoustical music. This is exciting.
Yeah. So I'm going to be like this video in the background. I'm going to be digging through my collection looking for songs to give Amanda. So yeah, so the rules is that it's an acoustic version of a popular song. So it can't have been a song that was already released acoustically. Like it has to have been a
popular song.
An acoustic version of that song.
Someone sat around a campfire and just went go.
Yeah. Song Swap Unplugged.
Beautiful.
Love it, Dave.
I love it. That can be the title of next week's show.
For sure.
Oh, that'll be wonderful.
Yeah.
Send your suggestions, everyone, because even if they're not on my list, I will add them probably through my Working Through Life list.
Yes, the Working Through Life playlist.
One day I'll share it with you all, and you'll be like, oh, I wasn't ready to hear that. It's awful. Oh, goodness. I don't know if my internet's bad or if Chris's is bad because
I want to hear the Working Through Life play. Can you hear me?
It's great. I can hear you now. You were frozen and your face was so great.
Yeah, it froze real quick. Yeah. It froze very quick. All right, everybody, let's get out of here. Let's give you back some of your day. Hey, listen, so we appreciate everybody who hung out with us today. Thank you so much. What a fun show. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Dave. Thank you, Ian. Thank you to my nephew Owen checking in, and thanks for everybody else who was hanging out there watching the live feed today. We appreciate all of you. Hope you enjoyed today's show. And remember, if you want to get notified every single time we go live, if you're watching us on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, smash that bell, as they say, so that way you do get notified. And if you thought that we did a good job today, feel free to like or share this video with a friend, or even more, if you'd like to leave us a tip, head over to our Buy Me a Coffee / Song Swap Showdown. That link is also in our show notes, as well as that QR code at the top of the screen that you can scan. Amanda, any final words?
This was just fun. It was a great memory lane journey this week as we were choosing the songs. So it made me remember a lot of shows that I kind of had forgotten about. So it was a fun journey this week. Thanks for setting us on it. Wheel of Themes.
Wheel of Show Themes. No, it was a lot of fun to do. So I really enjoyed putting this playlist together and playing the little videos and all that stuff. So, all right, everybody. Well, thank you all once again. We appreciate you. And make sure you have a great rest of the week and don't watch too much TV.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. To get notified every single time we drop a new episode of Chris and Amanda's Song Swap Showdown, just hit that follow button wherever you get your podcasts. If you're interested in becoming a sponsor of the show, please use the email address in our show notes and we'll get right back to you. And last but not least, please feel free to follow us over on our social accounts on Instagram and TikTok at Song Swap Showdown, or join our ever-growing community in our Facebook group by using the link in our show notes. Thanks for listening.